G'day guys, welcome back to Reach Me or Teach Me. Back on the comedy train today. Milton Jones was recommended to me on the back of the other one-liner videos I've been doing, Gary Delaney and Brian Killeney. And essentially, I know the name Milton Jones. I can't place him as a comedian, but I've heard it before. I do love my one-liner comedy, so let's get amongst it, folks. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go.
The topic is health.
Oh, I have seen Mock the Week, so I probably do know him. I've watched a fair bit of Mock the Week. Brilliant British show. Oh, it's this guy.
My sister's got hay fever. Now she's got diabetes, so I tried to cheer her up, you know, flowers, chocolates.
Oh, he's so good.
About a month before he died, my grandfather recovered his back with lard. After that, he went downhill very quickly.
All right. Ironic to tell you that I'm not going to pause it very much. I paused it to do so. But I did notice that this video is 37 minutes, so I probably won't pause it much at all, just because it's going to be really, really long, and I don't know if you guys want to be sitting here for an hour long.
I've recently had bird flu, but it's all relative, isn't it? You know, if I had rabies and you offered me bird flu, I'd bite your hand off.
Clever. Oh, this is dangerous. I shouldn't be drinking.
Last summer, I set up a clinic for colonic irrigation, but the hosepipe ban hit us hard.
Must have had a hosepipe ban in the UK.
Milton.
For
Let's
some
see
reason.
what subject. Let's spin the wheel. The subject is family.
One of my earliest memories is seeing my mother's face through the oven window.
He's so random.
As we played hide and seek, and she said, "You're getting warmer." My auntie Jean got a sister called Jean. Her daughter Jean just had a baby, called it Jean. They all went to a nightclub to celebrate. They got to the door and the bouncer said, "Sorry."
No jeans. Oh.
You're all wearing trainers. My grandfather, Jean, always complaining about how much things cost.
£1.50 for a cup of tea, £2.25 for 3 custard creams.
I said, "Look, Grandad, you just popped round. I didn't invite you." My other grandfather, he was always going on about how in the old days people could leave their back doors open, which is probably why his submarine sank. My other grandfather, when he died, we didn't even get the chance to say goodbye, which was all the more poignant because he drowned in a bowl of Cheerios.
And the subject is travel.
When I was young, my mum used to put food on a spoon and say, "There's a train coming, there's a train coming, there's a train coming." We'd always eat it because we knew that if we didn't, she wouldn't untie us from the railway line. I tried to get here by train today. They said, "Today there's a bus replacement service." So I gave them a tin of pineapple chunks. I said, "What's that?" I said, "That's my money replacement service." I didn't have any money because her friend nicked my £5. Thanks, that doesn't normally work. Anyway, I managed to borrow a car and I parked it up in Bus Lane. Last year I went on a ballooning holiday, put on 4 stone. The The other day I bought one of those off-road vehicles. 3,000 quid, got it home, found out it was a canoe.
Entertainment.
He's so random.
I was watching Blue Peter the other day, who's a neighbour with really bad circulation. I said to him, Peter, why don't you get a pacemaker? He said, I can't even run, let alone keep up with someone. I was watching TV the other day, and I flipped over, and all I could see were the brown cushions on my sofa really close up. You have to be careful watching television. You think to yourself, that bloke's better looking than me, he's got a better car than me, and he's got a cat called Jess. My favourite film is the French film And. I think it was released over here as E.T.
Oh, that's good.
You have to admire people who go into the performing arts. They have to do exercises every single day for their future careers. Big issue.
The subject is food. Who wants to talk about that? Milton.
I went for an Italian recently. Well, he was annoying me. Incredible to think, isn't it, that every single Scotsman started off as a Scotch egg. Cold and gingery. I was grilling some tomatoes the other day, saying, "Who are you? Where'd you come from?" I almost got into the SAS. I failed on one question. They said, right, imagine the scenario. Terrorists have taken hostages. They're holding them in an embassy. What are your preferred tactics? I said, I like the orange ones. I was in the park the other day watching an old man feed the birds, and after a while I thought to myself, I wonder how long he's been dead. And the boys in the playground found out that I had a potentially fatal allergy to peanuts. They used to shove me up against a wall and make me play Russian roulette with a bag of Revels.
And the topic is careers.
At college, I studied agriculture and communications, specialising in sheep. In the end, I came out with a BAA. After that, I set up the British Sheep Census, but I fell asleep halfway through that.
Oh, I'm not going to be able to do this whole video because my cheeks are hurting. I'm crying. Like, oh, I might have to break this up into 2 parts, folks. Oh.
At the end of the day, my dad always goes around pulling out all the plugs and turning out all the lights, very safety conscious. Why he got the sack from air traffic control. My nephew, when he grows up, he wants to be an accountant. So for his birthday, I bought him a great big bag of receipts. I said, listen, don't worry if you don't like them. I've kept all the presents.
It's very clever.
You know, when you're a pirate and you work mainly canals, annoying, isn't it, when you try and get one of your enemies to walk the plank? They just run off down the towpath. Mind you, the state of the towpath near us, I wouldn't touch it with...
The subject is relatives.
The scariest thing that ever happened to me in my entire life was when I was very little. My dad said, I'm just going to pop upstairs. And he went upstairs and he popped. I didn't speak to my dad. Well, he was a bus driver. You're not allowed to. My brother, he's allergic to cheese, not the taste. Just if anyone says the word, he goes, "Boop." Doesn't happen very often, but we've got some weird family photos.
I was wondering where he was going.
He was a GI, and he was in the RAF. OK, he was a giraffe. During the war, when board games were illegal, he was put in prison for being a Yahtzee sympathiser. My uncle, he was a security guard at the O2 Arena.
The topic is nationality.
If you're addicted to meths, you're either an alcoholic or a South African with a real love of numbers. I've got a friend who got caught shoplifting in Saudi Arabia. Fortunately, he'd stolen a prosthetic hand. Unfortunately, it was a second offence. So I'm in France, and I saw this little old lady knitting in the town square. I said, "Voulez-vous crochet avec moi?" I used to teach English in Germany. First day I taught them everything beginning with A. Second day, everything beginning with B. D-Day was a bit tricky. So I'm in a disco in Tehran. All these women dancing around a handbag singing Iranian Men, Hallelujah.
Iranian Men.
Recently, I phoned up the spiritual leader of Tibet. He sent me a large goat with a long neck. Turns out I'd phoned Dalai Lama.
Is employment.
I used to dream of having a job. Sometimes I'd go down to the bottle bank and stick my arms in through the holes and pretend to be working at a nuclear processing facility. I lost my job as a prison officer for organising a lock-in. I only had one job as an architect, but apparently a revolving mosque makes it difficult to pray towards Mecca. My first day working on a building site, I felt sure someone would ask me to go and get something that didn't actually exist, you know, like striped paint or something. Sure enough, someone asked me to go and get an air ambulance. Well, I played them at their own game. Took my time and said, "Oh no, I just couldn't seem to find one." You should have seen his face. It was blue. Years ago, of course, I used to supply filofaxes for the mafia. Yeah, I was involved in very organised crime.
The subject is family.
All my family are black and white. I phoned my dad the other day. He said, "You left the room before I finished speaking. I wanted you to go to Holland and Barrett and get me some tablets. Where are you now?" I said, "Holland." I always left the room before my dad finished speaking. I remember once he said, "Why don't you go outside and jump up and down on the trampoline?" Except I didn't hear the Aline. My grandfather, he eventually achieved his lifelong ambition to be a lion whisperer. Just before he died. Hashtag fail. My mother, she's got to the stage now where all she does is go on about who's just died.
Do you remember Muriel? She's just died.
It is true, too.
Do you remember Arthur? He's just died.
I said, Mum, get off the roof and give me the gun.
And the topic is entertainment.
I'm reading a book at the moment. It's called The Anticlimax. The first part is good. I see Rihanna had to cancel a concert because she got salmonella. Ella. I also see that down by the Thames they're making another wheel, this time dedicated to Mary Poppins, called the London Diddle-Diddle-Diddle-Diddle-Eye.
So dumb.
My grandmother, she got her scarf caught in one of those Ferris wheels, but she did regain consciousness. After all, what goes around... I was in a nativity play once. I was the man who scares the children because he comes into the hall on the wrong day to play badminton. Lionel Richie says hello, by the way. The other day I saw a sheep pole dancing in a kebab shop.
And the subject is work.
I didn't think I'd get a loan from the bank for my knitting business, but when I turned up actually wearing one of the balaclavas... I used to be a weatherman. In fact, does anyone want to buy a broken barometer? No pressure. If there'd been a mix-up, my uncle could have ended up as the next president of the United States. He's an undertaker in the army, or Barack Obama. Soldiers, of course, very emotionally repressed. Sometimes you see one of them go into the middle of a parade ground and shout, "Attention!" What he needs is a hug. And that's what I thought. My dad, he was a soldier, so, of course, as a family, we were always moving around a lot, because he used to use us for target practice. 6 hours I had to wait in the other day for the electrician until he opened the cupboard under the stairs and I was able to leap out at him. I remember when I was a policeman, I was asked to seal off an area and I went...
And the topic is medicine.
I have to go to the chemist soon to collect my prescription. Not from PC World like last time. Those tablets were very difficult to swallow. Recently I went to the chiropractors, or as they call them in the capital of Egypt, the practors. I put my back out trying to shoot horses, but it turns out the World Health Organization aren't trying to eradicate polo. My dad was a doctor, my mum was a nurse. They had 6 children. We all left home early. Well, they needed the beds. I remember the birthday I asked for that game, Operation. 3 years I waited.
Yes, sir.
I was talking to a nurse the other day. She said the main problem facing the NHS is Holby City. Actually, she might have said obesity.
Topic is transport.
So I was on the bus the other day. Driver stopped, got off, wouldn't come back. Apparently some bloke with big teeth kept talking to him.
Obviously a stab at... Oh, who's the... I can't think of the big tooth blonde dude. Another British comedian. I love Cats Does Countdown. 8 out of 10 cats, anything they do, to be honest, and he's on a lot of this stuff.
Before that, though, I overheard a mermaid on the bus.
She said, I like sitting on the beach, but my other half likes swimming.
Anyway, reading between the lines is dangerous if you're waiting for a train. Anyway, I did a show in Liverpool recently, and afterwards a bloke came up to me and said,
Hey, listen, I want to talk.
I said, well, just keep practicing. Next month, I'm in Northern Ireland, County Down, 4, 3, 2... I don't need a relationship. I am a rock. I'm an island. Sometimes I go down to airport arrivals and I stand with a piece of cardboard saying, no one. Saying, I'm an island. Sometimes I go down to airport arrivals and I stand with a piece of cardboard. Rock. I'm an island. Sometimes I go down to airport arrivals and I stand with a piece of cardboard saying, no one.
Okay, airport arrivals. I couldn't hear what he said. Nice.
Well, I did that until I had to give a lift to a Mr. Noon.
All right. Okay, so we're pretty much halfway through the actual video. I think I'm going to call it there because my cheeks can't fit. Like, and it's just so relentless and so full on. So I think I'm going to cut it there, and what I'll do is I'll break this up into 2 parts. I'll do part 2 next week. I've got some other videos I've got to get to now, but hopefully you enjoyed that, guys. If you did and you want to see more of that and you want to see part 2, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.